Oh, baby, listen. No lies detected. No lies detected. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. He said it in a different way from what I'm typically saying, but it's the same thing. These women want something for nothing. You want the man, meet the man at the finish line. You don't want to work towards anything. You don't want to prioritize it. You don't want to work for it. You don't want to work to maintain it. You don't want to do any work. You are sitting up, just want to be this, what they call passenger princess. Just sit there and enjoy everything that a man can bring to you, but you don't want to put in any work. It's crazy. And I see this all the time too. These people want to become Christians and quote the Bible when they want to make a point, or they feel like they can, like this, want to feel like they can use that in some way to justify their actions, and they still be wrong. You're still using it in the wrong way. But if you can convince people that, oh, see, this is what it's supposed to be, but they don't talk about that when they go and open them legs up for Pookie. You ain't talking about that when you out here talking about, I'm just trying to get to the D. You ain't worrying about the Bible and God and Jesus and all this. Then when you trying to get your rocks off, you could care less about the word. Then that don't stop you. It's very selective. They're selective in what, of when they want to use the word and use God and all of this. You're selective in your approach, and you just want to use anything to justify your actions without making any changes or holding yourself accountable. Any of it. It's very clear. But you got to ask yourself, how's that working for you? Because y'all seem to be complaining all the time about one thing or another. So it doesn't seem like that's working. But you want to keep on doing the same things and still complaining, thinking that you're going to get a different outcome. It doesn't make any sense. It's not smart, educated women. A relationship is about bringing two people together from different walks of life, different experiences. It's two people who have different upbringings for the most part, have different perspectives. You may agree on the foundation of things, or certain things, like you want marriage, both of you. You want a family, both. You want kids. You want to live your life a certain way. You agree upon certain things, but y'all still are two different people. So the whole point of a relationship and a marriage is to come together as one. That you come together. That's why it's for good, bad, better, worse, that do us part, ups and downs, sickness and in health, because they knew that, hey, there's going to be some differences here. There's going to be good times, bad times, but you vow to one another and before God that you're going to push through. You're going to make it work. It doesn't mean, that the marriage got to be tumultuous and it's toxic all the time and y'all don't never get along. No, it means that you're two different people who are not always going to agree. You love each other enough. The love is there. The foundation is strong. So you go through it. I don't understand how people think a relationship. And when they say relationship, they're talking about the men. Y'all, men. Men are supposed to be perfect. Men are supposed to be whole, knowing that they are not whole themselves. But it's okay, right? Women don't have to come to the table whole. Women don't have to have had no therapy. They don't have to have worked through their issues. They could just come to take them as they are, right? But for the men have to come whole. But this is the part that they don't understand. The same way they talk about this emotionally intelligent man. You don't hear that too much now. They realize an emotional intelligent man is not going to deal with their bullshit, because they're the ones who lack emotional intelligence. They're the ones who don't know how to communicate. They're the ones who are insecure with themselves. They're the ones who are not whole and don't have their stuff together the way it needs to be when it comes to being in healthy relationships. They're the ones a lot of times that are toxic because they've been told that they're perfect. You don't have to make any changes. But when you come across a person who's actually worked on themselves and who actually are moving and living their lives in their purpose, and they're doing the things that is going to benefit them, and they've built themselves up, and they're at a place mentally where they're mentally stable and sound, and they know what they want, they know where they want to go, they have their goals in place, and they've worked on themselves for real. They're not going to let somebody who hasn't worked on themselves, who lack emotional intelligence, come into their lives and disrupt their peace. So if you want a man who's emotionally intelligent, it's going to point to your flaws and your lack of it. It's going to point to where you need work and why you're insufficient for that man that you say you wanted. And they don't want that either, because it makes them feel this little. It makes them feel small. It makes them feel inadequate. And so they don't really want that, because it magnifies the fact that they don't even have the very things that they're looking for in men. And this is why they stick to Pookies and Ray Rays, because that's what they're familiar with. That is really their lane. And I don't care if you have an education. I don't care about none of that, because that does not give you are not knowledgeable of what men look for and the things that you say you want just because you got a degree. This is why those women are combative and they can't stay in relationships because they have not worked on themselves in that way. They were too focused on degrees and getting to the bag, and you did that. And if you did well in that, you succeeded there, but you're unable to succeed when it comes to family and relationships with men or women at this point, because even the women on women are having problems because they haven't worked on themselves. And it's very evident. So this is where they fall short, but they don't want to accept that fact, and they want to keep blaming men, when in actuality, the problem is a lot of these combative women. It is.